Have you ever imagined a country where men can marry more than one woman? We are talking about Bhutan, the most remote country in the world, hidden among the majestic Himalayan mountains and where men can marry more than one woman. That's exactly what you heard. Bhutan, a magical place known for its distinct culture, stunning landscapes, and a unique commitment to national happiness. But there is much more to discover about this enchanted country. Its rich history dates back to the 7th century with the arrival of Buddhism, and since then, Bhutan has emerged as a unique political entity in the 17th century. Despite its remote location, Bhutan remained isolated until the 1960s, preserving its traditions and cultural values. Today, its economy is driven not just by gross domestic product, but by a commitment to gross national happiness, prioritizing sustainable development and social well-being. And as we explore this fascinating country, we also discover intriguing social traditions such as polygamy and the significant role of Bhutanese women in society. Get ready for a unique journey where every step reveals a new wonder and mystery of Bhutan. Have you ever wondered what ancient secrets are hidden in the Himalayan mountains? Join us in exploring the culture and history of Bhutan, where every ancient temple and prayer flag tells a unique and fascinating story. Exploring the culture and history of Bhutan. The history of Bhutan is very old. It began in the 7th century when Buddhism arrived there. Since then, the country has developed with its own identity, especially since the 17th century when it became an independent place. This time was the beginning of an incredible journey for the people of Bhutan, who live in a place full of history and culture. Bhutan's ancient temples and monasteries hold many secrets from the past. With their ancient paintings and sculptures, these places are more than just religious sites. They are like books that tell stories about the country's past. What do these places hold behind their walls? Each visit to one of these temples is like traveling back in time and learning more about Bhutan and its spiritual tradition. In the heart of Bhutan, prayer flags are like messengers of the wind, spreading good energy throughout the region. They are not only colorful and beautiful, but they also carry stories of faith and devotion. Each flag, with its colors and symbols, is like a silent prayer for peace and prosperity. As they sway gently in the mountain breeze, they invite us to think about spirituality and connection to something greater. We will explore the villages and forts of Bhutan, walking along its roads and trails. Every stone, every smiling face we encounter shows us a little more about the rich culture of this country. Between the mountains and the valleys, the sounds of the temples and the chants of the monks, we find the true heart of Bhutan, a place where the past and present blend to create something unique and special. The culture and history of Bhutan are fascinating and show us how ancient traditions can live on even in a modern world. But what happens when tradition meets the winds of change? Let's delve deeper into transition and modernization in Bhutan, unraveling the complexities of heritage preservation amid the allure of progress. Transition and modernization in Bhutan. For centuries, Bhutan remained isolated from the rest of the world, protecting its traditions like precious treasures. However, in the 1960s, the country began to open its doors to the world, bringing with it changes and modernization. However, this transition does not come without costs. With modernization, Bhutan is faced with significant challenges. As skyscrapers begin to appear alongside ancient fortresses and technology mixes with centuries-old traditions, the country faces a crossroads between progress and preservation. Preserving Bhutan's rich cultural heritage while embracing technological advancements and external influences is a delicate balance the country is trying to strike. This transition also raises questions about identity and authenticity. As Bhutan opens up to the world, there is growing concern about the loss of the country's unique essence. How to maintain Bhutan's authenticity amid growing global influence has become a central question on the country's agenda. Ultimately, Bhutan's transition and modernization represent a journey of self-discovery and adaptation. The country is navigating the turbulent waters of change, determined to preserve its traditions and values while embracing the opportunities of the modern world. Balancing tradition and progress remains a challenge, but Bhutan is determined to find a path that honors its past while building a vibrant future. Bhutan's transition to a more modern world is exciting, but it also makes us reflect on how we can keep our traditions alive while embracing the future. Now, I ask you, have you ever wondered how a country prioritizes happiness over wealth? Let's dive into Bhutan's unique approach to economics and gross national happiness, where prosperity is measured not just by currency, but by the well-being of its people. Economy and gross national happiness in Bhutan. While many countries measure success by money, Bhutan takes a different approach. They prioritize gross national happiness, which takes into account people's happiness and well-being. But how can we measure happiness, and what can we learn from this approach? Bhutan's gross national happiness is a philosophy that goes beyond simple economic growth. Rather than focusing solely on financial indicators such as gross domestic product, GDP, Bhutan seeks to understand and promote the holistic well-being of its population. This includes aspects such as mental health, quality of life, social equity, and environmental sustainability. But how do we measure happiness? Bhutan has developed a comprehensive index that assesses 9 key domains, including health, education, time use, community vitality, and governance. This multifaceted approach offers a more complete and balanced view of a nation's progress, going beyond purely economic indicators. Exploring Bhutan's gross national happiness allows us to rethink what prosperity really means. In a world obsessed with economic growth, Bhutan reminds us of the importance of prioritizing human well-being and sustainable development. By taking a more holistic approach to measuring success, Bhutan inspires us to seek more meaningful forms of progress that benefit not just the economy, but also people and the planet. Bhutan shows us that happiness is not just about money, but about living a meaningful and purposeful life. Are you curious about the intriguing social traditions in Bhutan? Now let's discover together the stories behind the ancient customs and evolving roles of women in this captivating Himalayan kingdom. Exploring social traditions in Bhutan. In addition to the incredible landscapes, Bhutan also has unique social traditions such as polygamy. While it's legal, it's becoming less common as time goes on. But what is the story behind this tradition, and what is the role of women in Bhutan? The practice of polygamy in Bhutan has deep roots in the country's history and culture. Traditionally, having multiple wives was seen as a symbol of status and power for men, and a way of ensuring the continuity of the family line. However, with the passage of time and social changes, this practice is gradually declining as Bhutan moves towards a more egalitarian and modern society. The role of women in Bhutan is multifaceted and significant. Despite patriarchal traditions, Bhutanese women play a vital role in society, from running family businesses to looking after homes and being actively involved in the community. With changing times, women are taking on more prominent roles and playing an increasingly important role in Bhutan's social and economic advancement. By exploring these questions, we discover how tradition and modernity delicately meet in Bhutan. While the country embraces progress and change, it also strives to preserve its unique cultural traditions and values. Balancing the old and the new, between traditional social expectations and modern aspirations, is an ongoing journey for Bhutan as it moves towards a promising and inclusive future. The discussion about polygamy in Bhutan makes us think about how traditions change over time and how women shape Bhutanese society. Bhutan teaches us that true wealth lies in living a meaningful life and connecting with the world around us. May we learn from Bhutan to find a balance between progress and preservation, between tradition and modernity in our search for happiness. Watch this video that is appearing here for you and also see what life is like there.